Hi, welcome to Infinite Creations, episode 6. Today is Saturday, December 5th, 2015. I'm Lakshmi, also known as Knitter by Nature on Ravelry and Instagram. So it's been a while. I hope everyone in the U.S. had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I think Thanksgiving is a great time not only to visit with your family and friends, but to take some time to reflect on all that we have been grateful for, and I don't think we do that enough, so yay for Thanksgiving. So work was crazy before and after. It's starting to slow down now. The weather has been really mild here, so we're still waiting for the ski areas to open. It doesn't quite feel like Christmas time, although the Christmas lights and decorations have been going up. Not so much around here, but I usually wait till 2 weeks before Christmas to get our Christmas tree, so because it's live and I want to keep it fresh through the new year. So we haven't been doing too much Christmas decorating yet, but I do have Christmas on my mind, and I have been working on Christmas gifts. A couple of which are hats. Let me see. I'm working on the Windschief hat for my brother. It's patterned by Stephen West. I'm using Cascade 220, and I'm not sure what size needle, size 4, in this lovely gray color. And I got a couple skeins of this because I was originally going to make chunky socks, but I could always order more. I did get this yarn from Amazon because it was a good price and free 2-day shipping with Prime. So this is going kind of slow. I didn't know where any of my tape measures were, so I was trying to guess where 1.5 inches was, and I'm not quite there yet. So a little bit of knitting more to do on this. It gets a little bit difficult for me because I'm so used to doing the 1x1 rib, and this is twisted rib, so my muscle memory has to work a little bit harder. And it gets hard to switch from that project to this project, which is the Graham hat. And this is 1x1 rib. So I'm using magic loop because I didn't have a size 5 needle. That was the 16-inch that I could use for this. I'm using a size 5, and then I'm going to go up to size 7, which I do have a 17-inch circular needle. And I'll probably do the top with magic loop. I use DPNs as little as possible lately, just because magic loop is so much easier. So this is Knit Picks Preciosa in the pokeberry color, and I did show it to my sister just to get her reaction on the color, and she does like it. So I'll be making that hat for her. And one more gift I'm making is a Flamingo for my son to put in his stocking. And I got the body and the head done. And I had to put on his facial features before I stuffed up his head. So I went ahead out of order and made the beak and sewed that on, and then put on his eyes and stuffed his head closed. So he still needs his little legs and his tail. And he's getting close to being finished, so I think he'll be done on time. I think that'll be a nice surprise for my son to find in his stocking. It is one of the birds he requested. I'm not sure which one the other one was, but this one stood out in my mind, so I did remember that he wanted this one. I have another gift that I given to my son that I forgot to show you. It was a finished object a couple weeks ago. I already have it boxed up, so let me take it out of the box. Here it is. This is a monster candy holder, and it's from the book Beastly Crochet. And honestly, this is really the only pattern I liked in the book. I borrowed the book using Kindle Unlimited, checked it out, was able to knit this, and just returned the book because I don't have no use for it. Although I could make another one, because the pair would be really cute. And I think I'll do the teeth a little bit differently last time. I stranded the yarn, holding the yarn that I wasn't using inside. But with the teeth, you can just start off with a long tail, work the white back and forth without holding the yarn, the yellow yarn behind it. That way you wouldn't get any of the yellow bits when you cut open the felt. But I'm still really happy with how he came out. I had just the right size eyes to put on him, and his hair came out so cute. And he's going to be filled with candy in his little box on Christmas morning. And this is a pattern that my son does know about. When we were at the local yarn shop, he showed me the book that had this on the cover. So he does like the idea of these. I didn't tell him I was going to make him one, so another surprise. So we'll put him away. And I have another project I forgot to tell you guys about. It's a Trillian that I started using Bitsy Knits, Glitz too. Oh, and I'm close to the end of the row here. I should just finish this up. And the Trillian is such an easy pattern. You don't need a pattern to you just look at the pattern a couple times to memorize it, and then you don't need the pattern at all until you get to the last few rows when you do the edging. And it gives you a weight amount for the edging and also a stitch count if you'd rather do it that way. And this pattern is Martina Bain, who also designed the Hitchhiker, which is so popular. Okay, so it increases on both edges. I mean, it increases on both rows on the same edge. And then on this side, it has, let me show you it to the right way, has a nice little detail of lace on the edge. And it did start to pull a little bit here, the yarn, but I don't mind it. It seems like a galaxy to me, and that's what big splashes of color. So I think it's really pretty. It's been really fun to work with. It's got sparkle, and whenever I'm having a bad day, I can just take this out and lift my mood a little bit. Okay, okay, so another hat that I showed you before was the fake Isle hat, and I am still working on that with the sugar cookie and white chroma worsted. Now it is getting to the point, again, where the colors are very close in value. Look at that. It's almost indiscernible, the colors here. One is a light blue and one is white. So this row, these last couple rows that I've been working, you can hardly see the difference between the background and the foreground color. But I'm just going to leave it as is. And see how it comes out. It's just been a little bit difficult knitting with it because I have to look. I can't do it at night. I have to have like real light to be able to see like, oh, is that the white thread? So so yeah, working on this. It just changed from pink to blue. And that's been a fun pattern. I am close to the top of this chart. And then there's a crown shaping chart. And I'm doing these on size 8 needles, which are the collage square needles. I thought I had that other fake Isle handy so I could show you, but I don't, so we'll just move on. Okay. The project I've been working on most is the Windswept Sweater. And you will see I made quite a bit of progress. I've started with the back lace panel, you knit it half of it, and then you take out the provisional cast on and knit the other half, and then you pick up stitches to go around the edge on this side, and then you make raglan increases and separate for the sleeves. Then you increase a bit on next to the front collar to make a V-neck, and then you join the two pieces together, and then knit a certain amount of rows. And after I did that, I put in a piece of a lifeline, a piece of crochet cotton to use as a lifeline, and tried it on, and it does fit, so I was very excited, so I kept going. I was working on the bust decreases, and then I put in another waist yarn and tried it on again, and yay, it fits. But I did notice one problem. When I went to count the stitches, my stitch count is seriously off, and I don't know where I went wrong. I don't know if I did not pick up enough stitches when I was at the top, or if I didn't do enough I don't know, increases somewhere. Did I not add enough increases for the underarms? I don't know where I counted last. I thought I counted at this lifeline here, but it wouldn't make sense that I was that many stitches off now. The pattern did say that you could decrease or increase more to suit your curves, so I'm just going to go with it the way it is. It does fit. I'm just going to do a few more increases when it comes time to do the waist shaping. The waist shaping is gradual, and it goes back to the regular stitch count. Right now it's, I did a large size and I have the stitch count of a medium size. So I think I'll be okay. So I'm just going to continue on with it. I'm really happy with it. And I'm hoping to wear it on Christmas. I've been working on it for Christmas time, and it would be great to be able to wear it for a Christmas day. So this is knit in Knit Pick City Tweed and the Desert Sage color. And here's the back. I think it says 5 needles. I don't think it's going to tell me of these. I'm using carbons. Maybe it does say. If I could read it in this light. Yes, 5s. Okay. Oh, it's so soft and warm and cozy too. Okay, and this pattern is by Tin Can Knits. Another pattern I've been working on by Tin Can Knits is the Vivid blanket, and I showed you that I had knit a couple squares and I did a gray one this time, and you can really see the pattern pop out on this one. It was kind of hard to see on the red square. Okay, so I did that, and I'll be doing I was thinking I was going to do mostly Christmas colors, but I love all the colors of Stroll Tweed, so I'm going to be just mixing it up and doing all sorts of colors. So this is knit out of Stroll Tweed on size 5s. I started it with Magic Loop because it's very fiddly with ZPNs, and then I finished this one with Magic Loop. I might go back to using DPNs after it gets less fiddly, because I did notice that some of my stitches were stretching a little bit, and you'll notice that in the socks that I was making. I started a new pair of socks. They are knit toe up, 2 at a time, my first time doing this. Also with Knit Pick City Stroll Tweed. And I got the pattern Fancy Feet Anklets from Knit Picks. It's a free pattern right now, and I couldn't wait to cast on, so I took these size 2 needles. They call for size 1, but I usually use size 2 for my socks with 56 stitches, and this is 60 stitches, so I didn't think it would make much of a difference. And this one is the Monday pattern, and you can start to see a little feather and fan pattern here. Maybe you'll see it better. I'll put my hand in. See the feather and fan pattern. And I think I'm not too much of a fan at 2 at a time. If I was going to do 2 at a time, I do them on 2 separate needles. One sock on one needle and another on another, because where it joins here, I'm getting a gap where this sock joins, and you can kind of see it there. It's starting to create ladders in my work because it's not tight enough, and I've been trying to knit tighter, and sometimes it's working, sometimes it's not. So it's going to be okay for these socks, but in the future I think I'll do 2 needles, work a little bit on one sock, like the toe shaping, and then work another bit on the other sock, and then do some of the lace on one, do some of the lace on the other, so I don't get second sock syndrome. Mostly that's the reason, because I do tend to get that. I have been working on my Archangel ankle socks though. They're in this bag. Here's the first sock. And on the second sock, I worked the heel, picked up for the gusset, and did all the gusset decreases. So now I'm just working back and forth across the foot. So I just started the foot and put the stitches on the needle so that they are easier to work. So that's the leg part, and I just started the foot. So I have about 5 inches to go before I start any sort of toe shaping. I usually knit my socks, I wear size 9 shoes. I usually knit my socks until they are about 7 inches from the heel before I start the toe shaping, and that's how I know when to start. So at least I found one measuring tape. I'll have to use that for all my projects and keep it handy. Okay, I think that's all I have. I did want to talk about a contest that I'd like to run. So I've been doing a lot of gift knitting, and I'm sure some of you have been doing some gift knitting too. I'm going to open a contest thread, and 1 post per person. What I want to know is what you're knitting for gifts this year. You can enter anything that you started this year, and the contest will run through January 1st. And post as many gifts as you're making. It's only 1 entry per person, so it doesn't really matter. I wanted to make it fair that way. So the winner is going to receive a $20 Amazon gift card so that they can get any crafting supplies or crafting books from Amazon for a holiday gift for themselves this year. Okay, so look forward to that. I'll be posting the thread as soon as I can, and I'll see you guys later. Happy knitting. Bye.